Hey guys, it's Karina here with another video. Sorry I haven't posted in a while. It's just been a crazy few busy weeks with work and life and just everything, and I apologize for that. But I'm back, and today's video is going to be about Jeremiah 29:11. And first off, I just want to show you guys our book. So my family, I mentioned in one of my previous videos that my family was getting a book published. So my mom orchestrated this book about my family. So it's a memoir. Both my siblings have bipolar, and it's a family book from all of our perspectives, and it has friends' perspectives and our psychiatrist perspectives as well. So there's many different points of view in the book, and there's lots of pictures, and yeah, it's just really exciting. We had our book launch last Saturday, and it was awesome. We had like over 100 people show up. It was so awesome, and just to see the love and support, it was amazing. And yeah, this is our book. So I'm going to link below in the description box the website, and on that website you can also, if you go to the book tab, you can buy a book. I also put the individual book tab to buy a book. They're $20. You can get them online. And I'm not exactly sure if it's international shipping or not. You can go find out on the website. But yeah, this is our book, and it's really exciting. And yeah, it was just an awesome day, and I'm really excited to see where this book takes us and see what it does for mental health and the mental health world. Yeah, so that's that. And then I also wanted to show you guys this inspiration board I created. It's really cool. Hey guys, so this is my inspiration board that I just finished the other day. So just I'll go a bit back. So as you can see, I just put all these posters up, and they all say like different things. So that's like focus, focus. I will conquer, and I can and will conquer. There's some Bible verses, just cute stuff, some things I've colored. And just like stuff I found on Pinterest, and I just like printed it at Staples and whatnot. And then some of these papers here are from Michaels, and then yeah, the rest are like, those are from coloring, that's from a coloring book, so is that. So yeah, just cool stuff, and I'll show you guys the tape I used. So this right here, I'll do it, there we go. This right here is a reversible or double-sided tape, and then you peel it off. It's from Recollections, I think it's called. Super good brand. It was like $2 at the dollar store, $1 or $2. Yeah, so that was really good. So that's my little inspiration board that I can look at when I'm down, or going to bed, or waking up in the morning. So yeah, I highly recommend you do a little inspiration board for yourself. Yeah. Okay, so let's jump into the video. Jeremiah 29:11 is one of the most well-known verses ever, and I didn't even know about it until I watched Soul Surfer. It's like the verse in Soul Surfer that's like the main thing. Like, it's one of the big things in Soul Surfer. If you've ever seen Soul Surfer, if you haven't seen Soul Surfer, go watch it, because it's really good, and it's one of my favorite Christian movies. Yeah. So, I'll just read you guys the verse if you don't know it. So it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, the plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. Then you will call me and come pray to me, and I will listen. And you will seek me and find me, and when you seek me with all your heart, I will be found." So that's getting to verse 14. But yeah, I'll continue reading. So verse 14 says, "I will be found by you, declares the Lord, and I will bring you back from captivity. I will gather you from all of the nations and places where I have banished you, declares the Lord, and I will bring you back to the place from which I carried you into exile." So when I first heard Jeremiah 29:11, I never knew the context of it. And after reading the book of Jeremiah, it's all about the Israelites being in exile, right? So it's very interesting to actually have the context of it and realize the seriousness of this verse. Because being in the 21st century, you kind of just see this verse as, you know, God has a plan for me, and it gives you that little bit of hope. And really, it's crazy to read this, because this was their hope. This was the Israelites' hope. to be carried out of exile. Like when it says, I will bring you back to your place from which I carried you into exile. So it's just amazing to actually read it and get context and realize the seriousness of this verse. So in my Bible, it's a Jesus Bible, it has like explanations of chapter 29, like it explains random chapters. So I'm just going to read what their interpretation of it was. So it says, chapter 29 is Jeremiah's letters to those exiled in 597 BC. It was written sometime between the deportation of 597 and the destruction of Jerusalem and the final exile in 586. God told Jeremiah that he had allowed some of his people to be taken to Babylon, that he would one day bring them back to the city of Jerusalem. The idea of exile could hardly be seen as a blessing for Jeremiah's audience, a fact made even more difficult because not everyone had been taken away. Of the people who were still in Jerusalem, many remained defiant to God and lived with hardened hearts. Therefore Jeremiah wrote this letter to his people who had been in exile to assure them that God had a plan for them and that everything was going to work for their good. Verse 11 would greatly encourage these Israelites who were captives from foreign territory. Taken into a broader context, this verse can also be seen as God's promise to all of his people. The term you is plural, not singular. We can expand it to a point toward God's plan for everyone who follows him. Although believers may want to take this verse and apply it to their own life as assurance that God has an individual plan for them, it is much bigger than the everyday decisions or modern day believers often apply it to, deciding which college to attend, which job to take, and which city to move all of their trivial matters, when compared to the future of the hope that God promises to all his people. Does God have a plan for individuals? Absolutely, but this verse was so much more than a promise of personal benefit. This promise of redemption and salvation is brought about through the generous sovereignty of God. Jeremiah 29:11 was a future hope for the scattered people, and the believers today can also see it as a future hope for eternal redemption and life with God. Strong encouragement for those who endure serious hardship and trial. Then, as now, God is the only reason for the hope for the future. So, it's just really cool when you read that and you realize how big of a promise this was. It's not just a promise for us that we're going to have an awesome life, or that we're going to, that we're going to have a good life, or that we're going to have a plan and that our life's going somewhere. It's not just about us, it's about redemption and it's about salvation. It's everything into one verse. And that just made me think, wow, this verse is so much cooler than I even thought it was. Because for me, I pretty much, I interpreted it as, this helps me make decisions, I know God has a plan for me kind of thing. I was the typical believer when it says, although believers may take this verse and apply it so-and-so way. That was the way I was applying it. But once you read this and actually get the story behind it, you realize how powerful this verse was and what it actually meant, and it's just super, super cool. And the whole book of Jeremiah is actually really interesting. Jeremiah 33:3 is also a really cool part. It says, call to me and I will answer you. Tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. And the same is true. So in this little breakdown, it says, in times of hardship and turmoil, God wants his people to turn to him so that he can help them. Jeremiah 33 says that if God's people call to him, he will tell them great and unsearchable things that they do not know. The same is true for believers today who find themselves confused and in need. Through his word, through his Son, and through his Spirit, God offers answers for his people in the deepest life questions, no matter what the circumstances. So Jeremiah is a super cool book. I would definitely recommend reading it. I really enjoyed it. As you guys know, I'm working through the Old Testament currently. I'm almost at the New Testament, and I'm working my way through Daniel. I finished Jeremiah, now I'm doing Daniel. It's kind of in this random order. It's a Bible plan. I can look at it in the description box as well. But yeah, I'm going to do another video on Daniel because there's some cool stuff about the book of Daniel as well. So I'm going to have a little series on the books that I thought were most interesting and kind of insights and things I took from them. So that's my insights and what I took from Jeremiah. I hope you guys appreciated this video and have a new interpretation of Jeremiah 29:11. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys have a great week and know that if God put you to it, He will put you through it. Bye guys.